I'm convinced we're the most cursed team in professional sports.
You guys are bad.
Love you, Charles.
But with Modine, I'll be here every week, baby, when I'm able to. So if you love this pretty face, you're going to get used to this shit all the time.
You listen to me, and you listen to me good. Jets fans, I stand with my boy Green Bean. The New York Jets are making the playoffs in the 26/27 season. We are going to amaze people. We're going to blow you away. Playoff team, the playoff New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! So get ready to rumble!
Hello. Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Chaos in the Zone. Chaos, you know what? Hold on. Hold that thought, because I think we got to do something here.
You know when I'm full of shit. Can't fool you.
How are you? How are you, brother?
I'm good. Tired. We woke up like really early to drive into San Francisco, and it made us say it was a little bit of a day. Me and my wife just decided to get away from the hot Sacramento weather, go into San Francisco. We went to the ferry building by the Embarcadero, just walked along the water and stuff, and got breakfast. It was beautiful. The weather was like 70 degrees.
That sounds like a good day. It's one, a good time to do it. Get away before our weekends are dominated by football. Dude, we have foot. I think we have football like this week, right? Like
We're 12 days for us.
12 days for us.
I'm sure the Hall of Fame game has got to be coming up, right?
I want to say maybe the 6th. So yeah, dude, Thursday. So yeah, man, buckle up, get those day trips out of the way. Chub for Club says Rumble. I like that too. But yeah, dude, here we are again. We had Matt O'Leary on last week. That was fun. Talk to Matt, change up the discourse a bit, but now we're back, baby. Guys, what do you want to hear about? We do have some nuggets. Chaos. I'm sure you've seen these. Let me begin.
Don't be so sure. I'm like in another planet. Well, I'm in another planet out here.
Good point. Good point. I mean, let's put it this way. I didn't dig too deep because this was very loud in your face, this nugget. I'll tell you that. Geno Smith with a perfect day, baby. Not just that, and this outlines all the details, but the only practice open to the public, to the media, to the fans. Well, not to the media, but to the fans. It was the one solo day fans could go, and he puts on this showing. You said you've seen it. I don't know how much of it you've seen, but just initial thoughts on all this.
Um, I like it. It's funny because there's some of the Jeff fans are just unbelievable on X. It's just unbelievable. Oh, it means nothing if you think the offense is good because the defense was so bad last year and they're just the worst defense. But if he has a bad day of practice, Geno, and he's looking really bad, then it's no, but he doesn't say anything about that. What does that same fan say about the defense? Well, so the offense is not good. Like it's just negativity. And the reality is 11 for 11. I mean, like in 4 for 4, it's practice. So I'm not going to go crazy and say, oh my God, what's going on? He's 36, 37 years old. We know who he is, right? We know he's not like, it's not like, oh my God, like if it was Klubnik, we'd be like, holy cow, we might have the next Tom Brady, right? We'd be all hyped up. But like, it's Geno Smith. He had a good practice. So I'm not going to go crazy, but I will say this. If he keeps doing that, it's a really good sign that maybe last year was because he was on the Raiders. He had no weapons. He had no offensive line. And if this becomes an indicator that when you give him an offensive line and you give him good weapons, maybe he's the quarterback that we saw in Seattle. And that's what we're hoping for.
I'm with you. I do find it a bit ironic, though. I'll just say that. Like, everybody, when we first got him, there were some people way optimistic over him and how we were getting the Seattle Geno, blah, 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 blah. And then he gets into some trouble. He has some drama surrounding him. And you saw people selling their shares so fast. It was crazy. Then, fast forward a little bit, though, and it's like, okay, everybody's pissed off because you can only go to one training camp practice, blah, blah, blah. And then the one that they get to go to, they go and they see a perfect fucking day. Now everybody's back on the Geno train, baby. Like,
Fans are unbelievable.
dude, it's just you see it like this, and it's just like, man, just pick a lane. Don't let one practice in July or August, sway you that far, or one little rumor, or whatever. Just pick a lane, or just be like me when it's just like, let's just wait and see how he plays. Can I judge him on that?
Yeah, it's just so like important that everybody get their the criticism in and the this and the that, and it's like, you know what? We didn't get Geno Smith, and this is not like the Aaron Rodgers thing where we got him and said, oh, we're playing to win the Super Bowl now. We're competing. We're going to be a championship level team. This is literally so blatantly a bridge quarterback. This is let's get a veteran quarterback that has some level of competency that could come in here and help this team turn the corner, like with all the other pieces around them, to start growing and step forward as we look for the young future quarterback to take it the rest of the way in the future. That we're looking for the person that Geno will hand the ball off to for the time when we're really making a push to go far. Right now, we're just looking to improve. And I don't care what anybody says. If you look at the quarterback play from last year and then you look at Geno Smith, it's very obvious that there's going to be improvement, and we're going to have a more competent quarterback, which allows us to, the most important thing is to evaluate the other players and allow all these offensive weapons that we've gained to be able to do something. Because if you don't have competency at quarterback, it doesn't matter how many weapons you have.
Very, very good points there. Especially the evaluating our other talent. We need someone that can facilitate that, so we can get proper intel heading into this off season, heading into free agency, heading into the draft. Biggest draft we maybe have had as long as I can remember, outside of the one where we had 4 firsts, but I think this might even be bigger than that. That's a whole nother conversation. But what I will say is, at least this quarterback, we finally have a quarterback that's been drafted. That's an improvement, right?
Yes, yes. It's funny that the two quarterbacks are 1 and 2 quarterback right now in the depth charts, are two quarterbacks who you're right. They were drafted by the Jets.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Two Jet draft picks are heading up the 1 and 2 spots in the quarterback room. It's cool.
Was Zappy drafted by us?
No, New England, right? Or New
Yeah,
England got him as
yeah.
an undrafted. Maybe he might have been an undrafted free agent.
Okay, gotcha.
And Brady Cook was an undrafted free agent that we signed.
Got you. That keeps escaping me.
I don't
Tony
know.
chimes in.
Yeah, I can understand why you'd forget that Brady Cook was an undrafted free agent. It's not like anybody ever says it to you over and over again many times.
No. You know what you know what they say, man. They say that the memory is stored in the hair follicle. So, yeah. So I don't know. I just keep forgetting. uh, all right. Let's see what else we got here. I do have a short clip I want to show you in the Geno vein. So we're not totally changing course here, but let me bring it up. Not a whole lot. I mean, it's August 2nd. But guys, if you have questions or some way you want to steer this conversation, please let us know. Until then, I'm gonna get Chaos's thoughts on this baby.
Come on, boy. You cold, Geno. What a ball, man. That boy threw a piece out there early.
Say it one more time. Over Sherwood.
That's a beautiful pass. It's a beautiful pass.
You cold, Geno.
That's a beautiful. I mean, yeah, you want to talk about an NFL level pass.
He does layer it in there.
On,
it's just perfect. It's just a beauty. I mean, that's what an NFL quarterback is supposed to be able to do, and that's what separates NFL quarterbacks from all the other quarterbacks in college that never make it to the NFL. When you can make passes like that, but you got to do it with consistency.
Facts. It is nice to see the touch. He does go over Sherwood, which is a little disheartening. But then again, why is Sherwood there? Like that whole.
Well, I mean, Sherwood. Sure. I mean, yeah. Like if during the season, Sherwood is covering the other team's WR1, I'm not going to hold that against Sherwood. I'm going to look at the coaching. Aside from that, it took a perfect pass. So it's not that Sherwood did bad. I mean, sometimes if a quarterback throws a dime, a quarterback throws a dime. I don't care who you are. Sometimes you can have great coverage, but if the quarterback drops it in like that, what are you going to do?
Not much.
Sometimes a player makes a play, but like for him to be, for anybody, nobody can really jump on Sherwood because he's covering Garrett Wilson, and a linebacker should never be covering a WR1.
I am with you. Artie chimes in. He says Geno at camp was good. The way he interacted with the fans, showing appreciation, was great. I did see a bunch of that. Him signing autographs for people, him posing in photos. It was good to see. I mean, it's not unheard of for Jets, but like it does, show that he's not a giant tool like other videos of him would suggest. This offseason, I think it's a good sign. I don't know if you saw any of that, him signing autographs and stuff, but it was good content.
It's always nice to see your players doing that stuff. I mean, it's better. Like it's easier to root for a guy that's likable that treats his fans right than an asshole. It doesn't mean he's going to be good or bad. It has nothing to do with performance, but it makes it easier to root for him, right? So it's definitely, it's kind of like you fall in love with a girl. It's nice when the girl you fall in love with is easy on the eyes. It's like, so it's nice.
Correct.
When the when the quarterback that you're rooting for and needs to root for your team to do well is a nice guy.
Yes, it does. It helps. Paul chimes in. He says Geno's getting that passing record this year. The weapons, the line, and dare I say it, the offensive scheme is there for it. Let's fucking go. Just to just stay with the offense another minute. What could you say to Paul here, who is dead set on this happening? You tell me.
Well, first I'll say it sounds like New York Jets fan, early August football talk. Um, and I do it all the time, right? I think theoretically on paper, I understand the sentiment very well. Like when you think about it on paper, you think about Geno Smith, who I know, like the Raiders last year, people really have to watch the film and understand, watch the games. I mean, the guy had no chance. But if you look at the Geno Smith from the last 5 years combined, if you average everything out, and you consider he's a competent NFL quarterback, middle of the pack quarterback, right? And then you consider a really good offensive line. And there's a lot of questions, though, right? Like we know he's got Brees and Garrett. Everyone else is a question because last year we had no quarterback, so we have no real evaluation tool or assessment tool. And then the new guys that are young, so they're question marks. It's just that there are a lot of them, and a lot of them we're very hopeful about, like Sadiq and Taylor. Out of those two, one of them is going to be a really good tight end or a really reliable good target, right? I at least believe that. And then it's more of a numbers game for us. They both could end up being good. And then you got A.D. Mitchell and Omar Cooper, right? Maybe they're both not. Maybe Cooper's a miss, but is A.D. Mitchell a miss? Because he started to come on and look and did some good things. Or maybe it's vice versa. Cooper will be the one. But we have a lot of, we just need, if one of those two make it and one of the two tight ends make it and are really good, then we got a really good tight ends, a good WR1 and a good WR2, and a good offensive line. So it's like, and Brees Hall. So it's starting to look real to me too. You know?
I agree. I honestly like he who I forget who it was, but here Paul. Okay, Geno's getting that passing work. You know, it's not a hot take. Like Chaos just outlined, man. We do have some weapons out the ass. Hopefully we have even a middling scheme. I think it can happen. 4,000 is not that much, man. Let's just be honest.
Well, 17, you got 17 games. It's a passing league. And he's done it in his career in other places. And, like whether he still has enough in the tank, I don't know, but he's certainly, I think he has the best supporting cast he may have ever, or as good as any supporting cast as he's ever had. I really do.
235 a game.
As an average. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be games where there's going to games where we're going to be under 200 because you're going to play the Bills. You're going to play, really good defense. And there's going to be games where you're 320, 350, 360, when you're playing Miami, perhaps, not to pick on Miami. I'm just saying, their roster's not very good right now. But there'll be games where he's able to put up some numbers. We're hoping.
Yeah. And hopefully we can get some easy yards for him. Like I'd like to see Garrett win over the top occasionally, A.D. Mitchell. Those are easy yards when it comes to passing. So you're right. There's going to be some games where we run a hell of a lot that he doesn't get that 235, but there'll be others where he maybe hits 300, So we'll see. It's going to be something to watch all year. And where else better to watch than right here? Chaos in the Zone, baby. All right. A personal question for you, Chaos. Hopefully this isn't too pressure oriented. Are the Costco chicken tenders frozen or hand breaded fresh?
My guess is that it's frozen, but I don't think it's coming from like the one of the three factories that do all the chicken tenders for the country. I think that Kirkland is producing them somewhere or something. The reason I think I think they're quick frozen, like, quick freeze, like done in a real good way. The reason I believe that is because they're just each so perfect. They're so perfectly breaded in such a coat. Like they're not cracking. They're not breaking apart with some of it's unbreaded. And when you make homemade, that's the reality. Because it's regular people there, and they're dipping it in, and it drips. And just when I make cutlets at home, they're never perfectly breaded, right? There's little spots where there's a hole where you can see the chicken. Not a lot of those, hopefully, but so I would guess that they're frozen. But I will also say this: most places where you get chicken tenders, I think in probably 95% of the cases, 95% of the time, that's the reality. Chicken tenders aren't a fancy food. They're not, right? They're a finger food. They're a junk food type food. I'm just gonna say, like, and guys could see it in my review. Uh, Costco was shockingly good. That's all I can say about it. It was shockingly good.
A personal question I had about them, because you did say that they prepared them hot and fresh. Do they sell them like wholesale so you can make them in your own kitchen, or is it solely a hot
Oh,
and ready
oh,
thing?
I don't know. I know that they have the lightly battered chicken now. That's a big thing. Like the green ones, the green bags that says lightly battered, that are actually really good. I think it's meant to be like very Chick-fil-A style, where they use real chunks of chicken and they lightly batter it, and that's what the intention is. So I think there was good frozen chicken tenders and fillets, cutlets, or whatever that you could buy at Costco. I like them and I think they're good. I don't know if the ones they serve are available frozen or not. Like, I don't know,
Gotcha.
but
Yeah, yeah.
but if the awful reviews you're talking about, I'm certainly not from the food court. They're I didn't know this when I did the review. I really didn't. Afterwards, when I looked up my video and other reviews came in, they're all really positive. Like, it was not, you know what I mean? That's why I was surprised, because I didn't see the reviews. That's why I was so shocked. But
Oh, yeah.
it turns out that it's super popular. People are raving about them because they're so good. I think I would say I never had Cane's yet, and Cane's is supposed to be these great chicken tenders. I really haven't had chicken tenders better than the Costco ones. I've ordered a million times in restaurants. These were as good as any I've ever had. So
AZ, not AZ Thomas, AZ Jets fan, chimes in. He says, "Sorry everyone for completely diverting the. You know what? We need that occasionally, AZ. So it's fine. Back to the Jets. AZ Thomas, CB1, book it. You know what? Hold that thought, because we were talking offense, Jeremy. I got one
oh, I thought
more.
we were talking chicken tenders, but okay.
Well, yeah,
Just
good
kidding.
point. We will come back to AZ Thomas, but I want you to have this really critical piece of information when discussing Geno Smith and his 4,000 yards. We have Madden ratings for Brees Hall.
Well,
Thoughts?
I don't know. I don't play Madden. I don't give a shit. Care less.
Okay, but let me ask you this: not knowing Madden at all, does it surprise you that Brees's juke ability is ranked top 10 among all positions?
A little bit. I didn't think of him as a juke guy. When Brees Hall was at his best, his first year before he got hurt, and we all know that was his best. Those games before he got injured in his rookie year, where I thought we had Adrian Peterson type level player at that point. It was crazy. I was so excited. He was a game changer. Like, he was going to be a ridiculous superstar. He was on that track, and then he got hurt, and it was never the same. But the thing we always said about him back then was that he was one cut and run. That's what we liked about him. He was one cut and run. He got the ball, he saw the hole, he did one cut and took off. So I don't know I know the juke in the game, you could do that juking thing. I don't know what they
Yeah.
base it off of in the games, because I didn't see it in the last year with Brees Hall. I didn't see him as a juker. I saw him as more of a power, like, run hard right into the line, and sometimes it hits. And I think the thing Greenbean was pointing out that things changed is that he lost his vision of the field, like, he's missing the holes. Like, sometimes he's just not always hitting the right hole.
I'm with Green Bean there. I'm with you as well with the juking. Like, if it could say top 10 amongst running backs, and I would argue it. I don't think juking is his highest rated attribute, as this suggests. Other things, yes, like in space and all that, like juking. Nah, I don't see it. But you know what? It's a video game, so it is what it is. Maybe he can juke some screen passes to 4,008 yards for Geno. That's what we all want. And man, you're right. That first year was so special, man. Like, I got to go back and watch those 6 or 7 games. Like, just incredible how good he was.
Yeah, and it's like it's so upsetting and disappointing because it was like every time we have something nice, something goes wrong. Like Ken O'Brien, Vinny Testaverde, like Chad Pennington, and like it's like something always goes wrong. And it's like we had this guy who was going to be, I thought, I mean, he was just a rookie, and it was only 8 games, but he was on the trajectory of like having this, like the impact of top tier, best top three running back in the NFL kind of guy, like superstar. It was like because he was only a rookie, he wasn't doing it consistently every game, but he had like 3 games where he was like, what do you have, 3 or 4 touchdown runs that over 50 yards or something? Like it was crazy. It was getting really exciting, and I was like, and then boom, he had that terrible injury, and he's not been the same since. It doesn't mean he's not good, but he's not the same guy that we saw developing as a rookie. And I'm hoping that maybe with everything in place now, but it's also to me coaching, because like a lot of the things that people were pointing out in his game was he's looking for every play to be a big touchdown run, and he's not taking what the defense is giving him. And if he just goes back to focusing on hit the hole, hit the hole, see the hole, one cut, go. Like get back to what you were doing, because it looks like he's trying to do too much every play.
I'm with you. Entirely. I've talked at length about Brees, but it's vision. Vision is the number one thing for me as well. But let's segue back to AZ's question about AZ, or I should say proclamation. AZ Thomas CB1, book it. I'm going to assume he means before the end of the year. Where would you place odds on that coming? Like, I know we're all dealing with the same amount of info and we're all projecting, but I'm just saying, you gut feeling, you knew him coming out, you knew his college trajectory, you knew Dom's evaluation of him. How hot of a take is this, or is it one you share?
I think if everybody on the roster right now, the person with the best chance to be CB1 of the future for the New York Jets is AZ Thomas. It doesn't mean I don't believe in Pons, or I'm not hoping Pons is a superstar, right? I want Pons to be a superstar. I don't know if he's going to, I don't know what his role is going to be. He might be slot / boundary. When they line up 3 on the outside, he's going to cover one of them. But then sometimes he's going to cover the linebacker. I don't know if he's ever going to be a pure boundary cornerback. And that's not because he's not able to, but it's just we have to see how they're going to use him. So it's hard to predict for him. Pons could end up being the CB1, right? He could. But if you said, what are the odds of who I would bet on? I would bet on AZ Thomas. And I think AZ Thomas, when he hits his prime, is going to be better than Stevens ever was in his prime. Like he's going to be a much better player. Like a much better player. Like Stevens, was a solid CB2 at his best. But like I believe AZ Thomas could be a very good CB1 in this league. I'm not saying top 5, but it could be top 15, very legitimate CB1. And if you put another guy that's top 20 as his number 2, the tandem together will be very good.
Dude, it would be so good for us too if that were to be the case. Not because Brandon Stevens stunk, like or got traded. Let's see him just become better unanimously than the other outside perimeter corners, and earn that, dude. If he could do that mid-season, that would be fantastic for all of us. Eric, shout out, commenting from Twitter. Eric's a big, I think he's a beanbagger, if I'm reading the name right. So Eric, shout out to you, man, for tuning in from Twitter.
Eric is one of my like OG like followers, listeners, like back from the days when I did shows with Frankie, when I first started my channel. Like he was, before I had my channel, he was listening to me on Frankie's show once a week.
That's awesome.
So OG. He's OG.
Good to have you over here, Eric, for sure. Just one little thing, because I mean, we are kind of we're taking topics from the chat, guys. If you guys really want us to talk about something that you're interested in, let us know. Because I do have 1, 2 maybe nuggets left, but otherwise we're a very chat-driven show tonight. So keep that in mind when you're chatting down there. AZ came in with 6 bold takes for us. 3 good and 3 bad. He's not asking ours, which I thought he was. Then he provided his own. So, do you want to break these down real quick?
Whatever. Yeah, sure. Thank you, AZ, for giving us the show, like giving us all this content.
Okay, so AZ Thomas, CB1.
Love it.
Brees, 1,400 rush yards.
I believe
Parham Pro Bowl.
Okay, so I always thought that Brees Hall, I every year think he's going to get 1,400 rushing yards. Like in that, I've been disappointed every year, but I just think he's a phenomenal. I think it's all there, and I think the reason why I think it's a very reasonable take is because the offensive line is really good. We have a competent quarterback that's going to force defenses to play us. They're not going to be able to put 8 in the box. Like, I don't care how bad you have to really be off the rocker to think Geno Smith got so bad that you could put 8 in the box with him. I mean, come on. He's a seasoned quarterback. He's been in the league forever. We see him chuck he knows he throws. He throws downfield. He's a passing quarterback. We know what his ability is. He's real. You can't put 8 in the box. So they're not going to be able to stack the box on Brees Hall. And we have a good offensive line. And, and a lot of weapons. And I think there's going to be times where they're going to have to spread their defense because we have a lot of guys to cover if things go well. And I think that Brees Hall is going to have a lot of opportunity to run in space.
1,400 would be what, like 85? I'm just guessing 85 a game. It's not unreasonable. The only thing I would say is you gotta have Geno healthy, you gotta keep the O-line healthy, and you gotta keep Brees healthy, right?
Yeah, I think that he does. It's he's had games where he disappeared because the offense is so bad. So if the offense is competent and we get Brees Hall to be what he could be every week, with maybe a couple of bad weeks instead of 7-8 throwaway games because he has no chance. I don't think this is a big number. I really don't think it's that unobtainable. He somehow got 1,000, and there were 6 or 7 games where he had no chance to get 30 yards rushing because the offense was so bad and they were stacking. When Brady Cook was quarterbacking, they had no fear of him. They had no respect. They were just stopping the run. They were literally focused. They were lining everybody up in the box and stopping the run because they did not give a crap about Brady Cook. They were not afraid of him.
Now, he did lean bold. He leans extra bold with this third one. Parham could be a Pro Bowler.
That's the biggest stretch for me. I think he could be much better than people are saying. People are very stuck on the fact, the Raiders were terrible. They had a terrible offensive line. But he was the best player on that offensive line. He was. And he was a guard surrounded by shit. So it hurts your rating because everybody thinks it's not an individual sport for offensive line. There's a lot of communication. It's a lot of teamwork. There's a lot that goes on. So there are times where he's going to get the bad stat, the pressure, the sack, whatever it is, and we don't know that it was his fault, right? It's really hard to say sometimes based on what they're supposed to do on the offensive line. You have to watch. And when you watch the Raiders, go watch the Raiders. Like if you could find film on it, like just go watch like a Raiders game from last year and watch him. He's clearly the one guy that's, to me, what I saw was he was the one doing his job. Off the line of scrimmage, he had position. He was popping up. He had his hands in the right place. He was locking his guy down. He was okay. I'm not saying he was an all-pro, but he was good. So, I think he's a good football player. I don't know about Pro Bowl, though.
Right. And that is, for him for this to happen, I think you have to have a meteoric performance by the entire O-line where it just gets all 5 guys' names out there. But we'll see. We'll see because, there's other ways as well. And he could just be a nasty SOB, which I have heard about him. So, but yeah, get that name out there because it's a very popular thing, the Pro Bowl. You got to get your name to be hot, and you got to get it to be hot fast because we're voting on that shit like Halloween, right? Like, so. A couple bad bold ones. We'll hit these a little faster. Demario is cooked. Geno, 20 plus picks. McDonald traded before the deadline.
Ooh, those are all very negative ones. The McDonald one is the most realistic in a horrible scenario. And the scenario is that we suck, right? So if we're 1-6, 1-7, whatever, then McDonald is definitely, he wasn't extended yet. He's going to be want money or whatever, especially let's say he has 5 or 6 sacks. There's going to be a lot of teams that want that. They're going to want his athleticism. A lot of teams down the stretch that will see value in him as a pass rush specialist. So it's a very easy take to see unfold. If the Jets suck and fall apart and have a terrible record, he's probably one of our more likely, if we sell, he's a likely sell candidate. Geno 20 plus interceptions makes no sense to me at all, based on his performance in the past or whatever. 20 plus is a lot of interceptions. It's a lot. It doesn't happen very often, and there's no reason for me to believe he'll throw 20 picks. There's absolutely no reason at all. And I would say if he was on pace to do it, the Jets will have a terrible record and he'll lose his starting job and we'll get to see Klubnik.
Damn, that is the best point there at the end, because he did have 17 last year. He had 15 the year before. It's not a stretch, but like you said, why keep trotting him out there? I mean, hey, if he has 50 touchdowns and he has 15 picks, then maybe he gets to see 20. But Demario being cooked, I think, would hurt me the most out of these three. And that's saying a lot when you consider McDonald's age, and you know what I mean?
I don't think that I think that Demario might take a step down. Like he might start to go down, but I don't see him as the type of player that's going to go from very competitive to he's cooked in one big swoop season. And the reason is because I don't think the way he plays football, I don't think is completely determined on some type of athleticism that's suddenly going to leave him. It's a lot of it is his brain, right? Because for the last few years, he probably physically hasn't been as athletically gifted as a lot of people in his position. It's his brain. It's his understanding of the game, his vision of the game. So yes, he could lose a step, and suddenly, even with that brain, we saw that happen with Mosley, right? We watched him have to, kind of regress in his career. But I don't think it's going to be so sudden that he's cooked. I think it's just going to be he's just not as good as he was last year and the year before that. Like he takes a noticeable little step down, but still much better than what we had last year. Still a lot better than what we had last year. And I don't, and the thing about Demario is we just need him to have one season. Like he needs to hold it together and last one more season at any type of level that we've seen from him. That's all we're asking. We know he's not the future. We know he's a one-year guy.
Right. And, a lot of people wanted a Sonny Styles or whatnot. But you know what DD does is he buys us that year to find the guy. We got 3 firsts next year. Maybe we get that captain of the defense. Or maybe someone else steps up and becomes one. Maybe we get one in free agency. But the point is, like, maybe Demario plays very well and he gives us one more. I mean, we don't know. But I will say that is a bold take from AZ, and I like those. Those were fun to chomp on. We're not discrediting your takes, AZ. You could be right, but we're glad you provided them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're hot takes.
Mm-hmm.
They're hot takes. So it's like you can't, I hate it when people criticize people for hot takes because they're hot takes. They're admittedly hot takes. The second you say I'm making a hot take, you're saying this is a hot take. It's not something that I'm betting on or saying is the most likely thing to happen. It's a hot take. That's the fun of doing hot takes. Anybody who criticizes somebody for their hot takes, you're the person who's completely lost because you don't understand the point of what's happening. Like the point of a hot take is supposed to be surprising. It's supposed to be like, ooh, like it's not supposed to be saying something that's very solid that everybody believes will happen. Then it's not a hot take.
I'm with you 100%. Indy says with Davis here, Sherwood will play better as he did when CJ was here, and that's the dream, right? You got to have a Batman. Sherwood is not a Batman; he's a Robin.
Right. He's a Robin. And everybody was judging him last year. The problem with him last year is he was being asked to be Batman. He's not Batman. He is Robin.
Correct.
And guess what? He could be very good. He might be a very good Robin. So, so we have to see about Sherwood. He's a question mark. I think that, but all evidence, Indy is right. Like, all evidence is that when he played with a clear number one guy who had the sticker on his helmet, and he was the Robin, he was very good. Or he was developing. Like, we watched him grow into a good player. Not a great player. He's not a star. He's just a good player. He's like, okay. Yeah.
Chaos, if I admittedly say that I am Robin, can you speak into the mic and tell us who you are?
If you're who?
I'm Robin.
You're Robin? I'm not Batman. But maybe
I am Batman. Come on, give us your best I am Batman impersonation.
I'm Batman.
Love it. I love it. Here's a hot take from Chubb for Club, and it does not involve Klubnik. Pons will be our best cornerback and will play on the outside. Do you think he means this year, Chaos?
I don't know, because they said they were going to play him everywhere. But if you're talking about but again, I'll say the same thing I said before. We don't know where he's going to play completely. We don't know how it's going to unfold. But none of it is bad news. Like, if he's always a guy that's versatile and moving around, it doesn't mean he's not. He won't be a star. He can still be an all-pro, our star player, one of our better defensive players, gets turnovers. Like, it doesn't have to be that he's a boundary. Like, it might be that he's just going to be this versatile guy that's everywhere, that we love, But yeah, this is very possible. This could happen. This is a scenario that can happen. And somebody said in the chat before something I agree with completely. I said best on the roster now. That AZ best on the roster now. I agreed that he could be the CB1 based on the roster now. If Pons ends up being a really great slot corner, and AZ is a really good CB2, but not really that great of a CB1, right? He's like somewhere 20th best in the league. There's a chance with 3 first-round picks that we're going to draft a corner. Somebody said it in the chat, and it's very true. There's a possibility we draft a boundary corner that plays alongside AZ Thomas, and Pons is the slot corner, and sometimes goes on the boundary. And when the other team lines up 3 or 4 receivers on the outside, this is all possible. What I like is Pons is versatile. That's what I like. Because I'm hoping he's going to become the kind of player that we could put anywhere.
I am with you. Can you read this next comment for me?
Smelly Ellie. Hello, Smelly Ellie.
Welcome to the Danger Zone. I don't know, Smelly Ellie may be our 700th. Let me look. We are at 699, sir.
If anybody is listening and watching the show right now, how bad or how much do you want to be the 700 subscriber? Give me a break. Can somebody just freaking subscribe to this kid and give me 700 sub? Smelly Ellie, did you hit the subscribe button? Subscribe. You could be number 700, Smelly Ellie.
Hey, I like it.
Smelly Ellie, you could be number 700. Yes, he needs 700.
That is a great name, Smelly Ellie. In the history books, subscriber number 700.
And yes, Smelly Ellie. We'll say it forever. Smelly Ellie. Who is Smelly Ellie? It's like a Jeopardy question. Became the 700th subscriber of the Danger Zone in August of 2026. Who is Smelly Ellie? Oh, you need to be more specific. Smelly Ellie 21. Johnny, Smelly Ellie 22. Correct.
Ding, ding, ding. Indy said, hold on, he's logging into his burner accounts, man. Let's do it. Let's do it on a Sunday night.
I was gonna,
I would,
I was gonna do that. I don't know if I subbed
uh,
to you on all my accounts. I have like a work
part,
account. I don't know. I probably haven't subbed to anything on my work
you know
account.
what? I'm starting to sound needy, I think. So guys, chill. Artie became a member just now. Appreciate you
Hi,
guys
buddy.
for real.
Hey, buddy, my dog just came. My
Uh,
dog.
hey, mine's over here sleeping out
You hear him shake?
cold.
Shake off that trauma. They shake. I pretend when they do the shake thing that they're shaking off trauma. Shake off that trauma.
You could use that in your sessions, I bet. Shake off the trauma.
You like
Hey,
when I hit
big
you
beard
like that?
dude, will you clean shave for 5K? Yes.
Hey, big beard
Yeah.
dude, will you clean shave? Okay, for $5,000.
Yeah.
And if he said, and creative shot, if he said no to that question, there's a woman named Hazel that would come with scissors and do it herself. For 5K.
Got him right here.
I always have this imagination where you talk about your jobs, by the way. I don't know if I said this the other day. You mentioned like this other job kind of thing. And I imagined in my head that basically what happened is Hazel got you to move out there and got you a job with her dad.
No, pretty much.
That's how I imagined it in my head. I don't know if that's true, but that's what came up into my head. She basically
fairly close.
She basically put her hooks in you. She said, "You're getting out here. You're going to work for my dad. We're going to have this life together."
Hey, here I am. Yeah, I mean, I have options, but it's like, man, if they need me, I'm going to do that first. And that's you're very close, sir. Very close. For 5K though, what would you do if you saw a $5,000 super chat roll through Chaos?
I would yell at the person and say, "Why didn't you tell us you were going to do that? We could have had you Venmo it." So, so YouTube didn't take a third of it. That's what I would say.
Hilarious. That is a solid point.
Like if you're going to give a crazy super chat, one of the things you could do is, let's say you're going to give $500, like some lunatic out there, right? If you were going to do that, say $500 super chat, going to Venmo it to you, but please give me the acknowledgement of it. We will do that, and but do it through Venmo.
Well, the other thing too, I mean, it's not even the YouTube cut. It's if you do it on an iPhone, then they take a third. So it's like it's insane, man. Everybody's taking thirds. Yeah.
It's just crazy. They just keep slicing it up.
They do. Creative though, yes. My Venmo's open at DayngerZone. All right, here's one. Let's get back to the convo. Indy wants to know thoughts on Inez Cooper starting at some point and Tip moving back to center.
I don't think it'll be Tip moving back to center. I think it would be Parm that would move to center. I don't think Tip's moving back to center. I think it would be a huge mistake. He always should have been a guard. Like, and I'm not going to steal this and pretend it's any great knowledge I have. This is Dom C just schooled me on this, he literally schooled me on it. Like one time, had a long talk with me about it, like explained it to me, showed me, very thoroughly said, Jeremy, this is why Tippmann is a guard, and he played center. Dom C played center. He played offensive line. So this is that's why it's always been his strongest position as far as prospecting and everything. And he explained it to me that Tip is too big. And that's why he struggled with his snaps early on. And it's also you're wasting a lot of talent by putting him at center, because you're taking away his ability because of his height and how difficult it is for him to do the long snapping, like for the shotgun. That you're taking away his ability to really drive and push and get position. That's why we started to see him shine and really sparkle when he moved to guard. And that's where he belongs. And I think he's too much of a strength for the team at guard to move him back to center. It's just not worth it. I don't want to lose the right guard. So it's really the other guy that might move. Parnham that would move to center.
And I'm with you. It's a leverage thing. And when you're 6'6" and you're snapping the ball before you can even establish, the what do they call that? The grapple. Like you got to snap the ball and you're 6. Yeah, it's just keep him at right guard, man.
He's a
For
great
real.
guard. He's a great
Yes.
guard. I love him. I love him. And I think he's hitting his prime now. I think he's in his prime. I think next few years, this is going to be the prime of his career, because it's very common for offensive linemen year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are their sweet spots. That's the sweet spot. So, yay.
We made it. We did it, Chaos, together. Take that, Murph.
I'm telling you, Murph. Oh, man. Maybe if Murph takes that wife beater off and starts posing and flexing a little bit, he can get you some extra subs that way.
Yes, we can get to ads like that.
Get all the women out there to start subbing.
Yep. You're right. All them West Virginia women. Yep. Just need to get them and their 87 kids subscribed. We'll be good.
We won't tell all the women he's taking.
Nope, not at all.
We will not tell them.
Thank you, Lee Van. Paul chimes in. We're just kind of riffing here. I don't think we're going to go too long left, guys. So get your questions in now. Paul wants to know. He says, "I don't know, guys. I honestly think CB will be a high pick next year."
I was alluding to that before. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant when I said on the roster now. But
Well, Chubb chimes in. He says using a first on a stud linebacker would be very exciting. CB and linebacker are both on the board for me in the first round next year. What about you?
I mean, and it's like, I don't want to get too hooked on first rounds, right? Because day two, there were 2 really good linebackers who fell to day 2 in this draft. And this is even a stronger draft probably next year. So there's going to be really strong prospects that fall into the second round. That doesn't mean I'm not saying don't take one in the first. I think there's a chance that like the safety linebacker thing is going to be, there's going to be a pick, whether it's our second first round pick or our third first round pick. There's going to be a pick where I would guess in the room, if it was me, that I think that might be a possibility, is that they're going to take the BPA of best safety or linebacker. They're going to literally align the safeties and linebackers together. And just with that pick, let's say it's the 23rd pick in the draft, they're just going to take the best one, the best player that happens to be a safety or a linebacker. That's how I think that's going to play out. And then the other one they'll address day 2 or day 3. Or free agency,
or with the draft pick we get for Will McDonald. I mean, we don't know, right?
Yeah.
That's
right. That's true.
Can Cooper play left guard? Do you know?
Yeah. I mean, guard you can interchange left and right. You better to be able to. It's very rare. A guy is, if you're good enough to play in the NFL at guard, and you're that young, you typically could rotate to either side.
It's funny too, because like Aaron Glenn spoke, this week several times, obviously, but someone was trying to bait him and asking him about Tippmann and all the juggling that we've done with him of recent. Glenn downplayed the hell out of it so fast. He's like, he just went from center to guard. It's nothing. So, I'm kind of with Glenn a bit there. Like interior O-line is lumped together for a reason, right? It's all kind of in the same vein. Can Cooper play left guard? Yeah, I bet you he can. If he's out there snapping the ball, he's playing, right guard or whatever. He could play left, right?
People forget that they're football players. They don't see it as I play one position, especially defense. Like how many guys have we seen say, like they asked Michael Carter II, are you a safety? You were a safety in college. Could you play this? Could you play that? And he just looked and he was like, I play defense. You gotta play defense. It's like, obviously I'm not going to line up on the line and play tackle, but you could put me a freeze. If they're going to make me a safety or they can make me a linebacker, I play defense, slot corner. That's what I do. So that's their attitude. You think this kid Cooper cares? He blocks people. Like you could put me here, you could put me there. I block people. That's what I do. It's a little harder to go to tackle because for tackle, there's an extra skill needed. Because for tackle, you have to handle the fast pass rushers. So you have to have the athleticism to be able to stop guys from getting around you, right? You have to have the speed. Whereas with guard, there's like, so moving from guard to tackle could be a problem. So the guards that are able to play tackle are the guards that are very athletic and very quick. So they're able to sometimes do that and get away with it, like AVT used to, because he was a great athlete.
A hot take coming in from Indy. DayngerZone needs to do 3 shows a day. I'm not going to say that too loud in my house because the internet, the router might get unplugged if that suggestion catches fire. 3 a day? Nope. Not even 3 a week, sir. I am high on not oversaturating myself, which is why I don't call in a lot of places either. It makes our time here on the weekends in the Danger Zone with Chaos and with Murph, it makes those nights special, Lou B chiming in, though, a guy that I saw in some sweet photos this weekend. For real, bro, you were living all of our best lives out there. $2. He says, if we don't fix the secondary, we are doomed. I don't know what fix means, except get it to play better.
I think that, like, I would just add to that. I'd say we have a lot of question marks. We have to see if they're the answer. If they're not, we have to fix the secondary or we're doomed. Because we don't know that it's not fixed. We don't know. Because AZ Thomas was a rookie last year. He's a cornerback rookie. And he was not bad. He made rookie mistakes. There were times where he played at a very good level for a rookie. He was also a great prospect coming out of college. We don't know. I'm not saying this is a fact. There's a chance that AZ Thomas is going to be very solid. We don't know what Pons is. Pons might be really solid. He's going to be a rookie. So whatever he is, we can be excited because he's going to be even better. Because rookie very rarely is ever a player is his best year a rookie. Like almost every player in the NFL gets better after their rookie year, unless they get hurt, right? And then Stevens is just an okay, whatever CB2. He's an average NFL CB2, right? So if AZ Thomas takes a big step, and then Pons we don't know what he could be. If he's really good and he's all over the place and making plays, we might end up with a fine secondary because Mika Fitzpatrick's going to help and he's going to do some coverage. It might work out fine. But it very well could be this is true, but this is something I would save till the end of the season. Or if it doesn't work out or Stevens leaves, that's when I'd be saying, hey, secondary, man. We have to get another corner in the room. Right now, I think it's a bigger question mark room than anything else.
I am with you because, like, Cisco, we don't know. Dude caught balls in the past, sucked last year. Minka is kind of aging, but we might have him playing 6 different roles on this team and just being a mental leader. Tony Adams is gone. I would like to consider that a positive. Malachi Moore, we don't know what we have. The list goes on, but that's going to be an option to upgrade next offseason for sure. I'm kind of hoping Minka is around for a bit, and then we can get another guy and maybe another high drafty. That could be a real strength, but the secondary he's talking, same with CB, man. We got to add to that in the draft, I think. Got to take like one more guy.
And it sounds like Lou was alluding to the practice that he saw. So can we just say they have it? Okay, but I just want to, I'm not saying that there's no concern. I'm not saying you want to see them look bad in practice. It was day 3 of practice. It was still, when you saw them, I think it was still July. It was the last day, first day of August, right? Okay, so it's like the 3rd practice. They're not even wearing pads yet. So what are you going to trust more? The day 3 practice, no pads, or last year in actual football games? Like AZ is not suddenly going to get burned every play and suck because he didn't last year.
Right.
right? Stevens
Correct.
is not suddenly going to get burned every play and suck because he didn't last year. There's no reason to think these guys can't play football because you went there and they got burned in practice. No pads. And that, to me, when I say, what do you mean no pads? What I mean is they're not even far enough into training camp that they've put pads on yet. So it's not the fact that they don't have pads that doesn't make it real. It's the fact that it's so early. It's a practice. Like,
What I
it's,
will
you got to put that in perspective.
What I will say ups the stakes for me though, and I think everybody here, including Luby, is how excited you are to see our defensive line and our front seven with the god that is Carl Dunbar, and it would all go to be wasted if the secondary sucks, right? Like, so it's going to be a pressure packed situation because of this man and how excited we are for Sweat and Briggs and Osai and Bailey and Will McDonald, and like you also can't have a terrible secondary. So the onus is on the entire defense to function well as a unit, right?
Well, yeah, but and also they affect each other. So you're literally not going to be terrible just based on, let's say, and this is a dream. It's a dream. But let's say Bailey's the guy. Let's say Bailey is the guy. Let's say he's Max Crosby. Let's say he's the guy. Let's say he's terrorizing like Micah Parsons did his first year. Let's say he comes in and he's terrorizing the other team. That makes our secondary so much better because the difference could be you only have to cover the receiver for 2.5 seconds as opposed to 3.5 to 4 seconds. That's the difference. And it's a huge difference. It's a world of difference. You know how many cornerbacks can cover any wide receiver for 2.5 seconds? But you ask them to cover that for receiver for 3.5. That's where you find out who's really special and who's not. That's what separates the skill of cornerback. I'm sure there are plenty of cornerbacks that look very good in this league if you're only asking them to cover for 2.5 seconds. Or 2.3 seconds. So a lot of it is, yes, your defensive line could make the secondary very good by default. Right?
Yep.
If Pons is a big hit and if AZ Thomas takes a big step forward, that's going to be amazing because then if you get the combination of both, then all of a sudden you're talking about being a very special defense.
I am with you. I will say, Jeremy, I don't think I got the chance to. You did call in Friday night, and I asked you some things. I think I asked you about Bailey's great day. I could be wrong, but what I will say is this photo of Will McDonald is kind of crazy on the bottom right here. Is it not? I mean, they're not blowing smoke. This dude got bigger, right?
Yeah, and the thing was, and from Dom C's mouth, and I'll quote him again, like Dom C has said it, if this kid adds strength, and he says the same thing about Bailey. If he goes, the thing that these guys need to do to be special, to be able to be what I'm saying, a Max Crosby, to a JJ Watt, like to be special, you can't just do it one-dimensional. You can't just be, I'm fast and I get around people. If Will McDonald adds strength to the point where he can roll over and run over a tackle, sometimes it's a combination of strength. If he could pop the tackle back off balance and then spin, right? So it's both. It's a combination of both. But if he adds strength, he already had a season where he got 11 sacks. If you suddenly add strength, like more, if he's significantly stronger and handling the tackle more, he can get better position and then apply his speed. You could see him go, a guy who got 11 sacks that could be the difference between now 15. And people say you're crazy. Crazy. Why would it be crazy? He got 11 sacks already. He already did it. And now at 2 years later, and now you're putting a guy like Bailey, if Bailey's good, attracting a lot of attention, we're really going to sit there and think it's so impossible to go from 11 to 15 sacks? It's very possible.
Right. Especially when you consider how many games he had 0. And it's a lot of them were just blowouts where the team didn't really have to pass against us. If he gets a quarter sack or a half sack in some of those games, bam, he's at 15 immediately. So pretty nice. Boss Girl chiming in saying Will McDonald is challenging Sadiq for the Camp Body Award.
Yeah. I mean, look,
She's not wrong.
he's just a phenomenal athlete, too. I mean, that block field goal and what he did, like, you see it. He's special. He just, I mean, but you said it. You made the perfect point. People are like, well, he dropped off in sacks. Of course he dropped off in sacks. Nobody was passing, like you said. And then when they were passing against us, did you notice it was like quick 1.5 seconds and the ball was out? Because we were so poor, we were so bad that you were able to play us like a college football team. You were able to call the play, and the quarterback, one read, was able to just flip back, throw it to a guy because we were that easy to play chess against. So you never had to put a guy in the pocket where he was sitting there and looking, and you had a chance to sack him. I watched; it was almost impossible to get pressure on them because they were getting rid of the ball so quickly against us. You know, it was
Agreed.
just so ugly, and we were so far. We were like down 21-0. So there was no like they were just running the ball, short screen passes. They weren't like risking their quarterback's health and dropping him in the pocket. They were up by 21 points.
Okay, we might have to do a show for Boss Girl one night where she gets to rank all the dudes and how they look because Braylon Allen his hat has been added to the ring. Yeah, so
she's like in a fizzy like right now in the corner of the room going, like she's sitting here naming out players and their bodies.
Well, you know what I will say is I think we got her on the Sadiq bandwagon a while ago, and now I'm talking about Will McDonald. It's like
just created a monster. No,
yeah, created a monster.
He's probably going to say, "Jeremy, I'm old enough to be their mother."
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I think she has younger kids. But these guys are young. Sadiq they're young. So she has teenagers.
Yeah,
He's not much older. He's not much older than her. Yeah,
that's a fair point. You know what? A couple chats I just had. So let me hit a chat or two. Jeremy, if you could check your phone real fast, that would help me. I'm going to highlight a chat or two. Yeah. Buy you a minute here. AZ Jet fan chimed in earlier. He says he's a draft guy. He said that he had AZ Thomas as his 34th overall prospect, which I don't think that was far from Dom. Thank you, Chaos. Do you remember where Dom had AZ Thomas?
19 overall. 19.
See, not bad.
19.
And we took him like in.
I'm telling you, people are third round. We got him in the third round.
Yeah.
People are jumping the gun, and it's crazy. It's cornerback. It's very rare. Maybe got spoiled with Sauce because Sauce was good year one. The kid from the kid from Houston, what's his name? That we took Sauce that went right before Sauce.
Stingley
was banged up and struggling this first year, right? Everybody thought Sauce was clearly the better pick. And then by year 3, finally he got healthy, he got some experience, and then Stingley became very good, right? Like it didn't happen right away. It doesn't always happen right away. It's one of those positions. All the positions, they get better as it goes. No position is known to be in your prime the year you start, right? Like it's like this is like, but like cornerback specifically, like when a cornerback plays his first game, the other team picks on him and throws at him to test him because it's cornerback. Like it's people have got to chill out. Like with I'm not saying, AZ or anybody specific. I'm just saying people are really jumping the gun on thinking AZ is just okay. Like he's not. Like this is not what's happening. He is a rookie, and
nobody looked good last year. Nobody looked good last year. Nobody.
But there were games where there was very encouraging man coverage, like man on man. Like he was very encouraging. He's very physical. He's very he's really had some really good film.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've said it before. His bad plays were not physical ability. They were rookie mistakes. They were coachable mistakes. I'm telling you, anybody who's given up on the idea that AZ Thomas could be a very good cornerback in this league, you are jumping the gun.
I'm with you. You know what? Just to, you know what? You're used to it by now. I just throw shit at you out of left field sometimes. You roll with it like a champ. Here's another one from Smelly Ellie. Are you a real life therapist, Jeremy?
Yes, I am. I'm a psychotherapist. Right now I'm an associate's therapist, which means I have to work under someone's license because you have to get 3,000 hours and pass a very difficult clinical exam. And then you could hang up your own shingle. And not only will I be a therapist, but I'll be one that could literally, like, like, someone could come up to me and say, be my therapist. I'll say, I can negotiate money and be their therapist without having them go to my company and then request me, which is what I would have to do now.
So you'd be a like a full source, like your
full source. Like I don't have to work.
Yeah,
I don't have to work for someone. Like right now, I have to work for someone to see clients because I have to be supervised. Like when supervised means I just have to go to meetings and have somebody approve my notes and stuff. But but I'm at 2,600 out of the 3,000 hours. But that's the easy part because I got a job and I'm getting hours. The hard part is the clinical exam. It's not an easy exam.
So once you get your practice going, are you going to cater specifically to Jet fans?
I probably would have to move to Jersey or New York. Yeah, you can only practice. Technically, I can get licensed. I can get a New Jersey license from here, and then see people here from New Jersey or New York. Same thing. So I could do that. I think my sweet spot's just going to be literally
couples,
men 25 to 60. I mean, that's just it because that's why I connect. All my male clients,
shout out Boss Girl because that's 98% of my audience right there. What you just mentioned.
But my female clients, I will say this, I'm doing very well with. Like I'm really helping them, and I have good relationships with them. It's just that with the guys, it's so easy. You know what I mean? It's just so easy, and it's such a big need because there are a lot of men who don't get therapy because they can't find a male therapist and they're embarrassed to talk to a woman. So, and there's not as many men therapists. So there's this big need. So it's like, that's why it's my sweet spot because I'm really good at it. I give them exactly what they want. A guy who's not alpha over them, but he's also not too fuzzy. I'm the perfect balance, right? Like I'm a non-threat, but still talking to another masculine man. And that's exactly what men want.
I like it, man. I like it a lot. Jeremy, you've got a wellspring of patience right here. I think he means the other kind of patience, but maybe he means both. I don't know. Patience with a T, though, I think is the main
I think he just means like the New York Jets fan base needs therapy. And I think a lot of them need therapy, but not only because of the Jets losing. I think it's whatever makes them act the way they do when the Jets lose and like the way people are behaving. Like that's the stuff that needs therapy. You know what I mean?
The way you process it is some of the less healthy things. It's even less healthy than the actual losing. Way people process it.
It drives me crazy because there's like when people stop using critical thinking, like in other words, the Jets could never develop a quarterback. We can't develop a quarterback. It's impossible. And it's like look at us for the last 30 years, let's say, right? And then you say, the people that were trying to develop a quarterback for us 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, have nothing to do with the people that we have now in place. So it's not a Jets problem. It's a people problem. The coaches, we haven't had the right coaches. But now like Frank Reich is the coach. And now we have a good offensive quarterback coach. Now it has nothing to do with our past. Now if we get a young quarterback, anybody who says, well, the Jets can't coach young quarterbacks, that's stupid. Because it's like the coaching staff that we have now is not our history. It's different people. It has nothing to do with it. And that loss of critical thinking amazes me. And I want to work with those people. I want to see what's going on in their brain that where they lose the ability for such an obvious thing. Like it's so obvious, right? Like it's like if you have different coaches, it has nothing to do with the coaches that were before them.
Some of them you just wonder, should we bring back lobotomy? But anyways, let's see. We got a couple pin ones. We're winding down. Guys, we got about less than 20 minutes. So if you got a question, fire it. I already got 8 or 10 here. Let's rapid fire through. And I mean it, Chaos. Let's rapid fire through some of these, okay?
Okay.
Paul chiming in. Do you think Seth Ryan's influence is changing our offensive philosophy this year?
No, not yet. Not with Frank Reich. I think he's still in learning mode with some contributions. He probably contributes and pushes things that'll get through and contribute. But I don't think that it's going to change the overall philosophy, not with Frank Reich coming in now.
Personally, like, tell me if this is right or wrong. Like in my mind, I'm thinking that offensive 3-headed trio is like a pot. I think it's going to be Reich 60% of the ideas, and the other two are 20 and 20 until they prove that they deserve a bigger slice of that pie. Is that a bad way to look at it?
Well, that could be in play design and some things like Reich things, but I think the overall strategy is like 90% right, and then maybe some suggestion of, like he'll listen to their voices. I think we should balance in more pass and change a little. I think we're too much run, or because we have these weapons, like that might happen. But I just think we have such a veteran offensive coordinator, such an experienced one. He's been a head coach. I'm pretty sure that he's coming in with a philosophy, and those guys are falling in line, and they're giving ideas within his philosophy. Like he's creating the shell, and they're within the shell, help filling the shell. But I don't think that I don't think anybody's impacting the shell except him. That what he's putting in place.
Unless I mean, what Seth Ryan could do is he could just have home run ideas the whole season, and then he gets more leash. But to say he's changing it right now, I'm with you, Chaos. He's not yet.
He's a prospect,
okay,
guys, and I want people to understand. He's a coaching prospect, like a player, like he's a prospect, right? Oh, he's gonna, Bobby Valentine, when he was a New York Met, was always considered a prospect to be a manager. They said he had such a great personality. He's quirky. He's going to be a manager someday. That happens in sports, right? Let me tell you something. The odds that he's the Jets head coach someday is probably less than any other team in football. Because what happens is if he rises amongst the ranks and he's succeeding at every level, one day he's going to be an offensive coordinator. And if he succeeds at that level, the odds are the head coach of our team is going to get a lot of wins because of that success, and their job is safe. And someone's going to pluck Seth Ryan away from us to make him a head coach. That's what the likely scenario is.
Yes. Let's hope he has some undying devotion to this franchise and just will wait it out. We don't know. Stick around and find out, folks. All right, moving along. Chaos specifically. Will the Jets pick up a linebacker off of waivers or cuts?
I wouldn't be shocked, but I think what's going to determine it is how good our number 3 is, like out of those young kids that are on right now trying out and like playing for a spot. They might still be at the point where they're like, we want to give one of these young kids a chance. We like him, and we might be able to fill the spot with this kid because we're not winning a Super Bowl this year. This might be an opportunity, one of the positions they want to look. Right? What's his name? Cato or something? Like they might want to look at Kiko. They might want to look at this kid. You know what I mean? You have to understand, for the most part, we only have 2 linebackers on the field at the same time. And a lot of times we're only going to have 1, right? Because we're playing a 3-4 a lot. So there's going to be a lot of times where the 2 edges are the linebackers on the outside. On the inside, you got Sherwood and Davis. Do you need a deeper room? Yes. Because one of those guys might get hurt, but it's not going to be very often that you have 3 inside linebackers on the field, like 3 linebackers. We're playing edge on the outside. And a lot of times it's going to be 1 linebacker on the field because you're going to play nickel and you're going to be doing a lot of things with all your slot corners. You might have Brownlee and Pons on the field at the same time as Thomas and Pons. So there's going to be a mix of all and Stevens. So there's going to be a lot of things. So I think that there's a chance they pick someone up if there's someone they really like, but I don't think it's as urgent as people think right now. I think it's about depth. But if they really love one of the guys in the room, somebody might make the roster. Like someone might win their hearts. Say, wow, we could trust this guy to come in. if one of the other guys needs a rest or comes out. Like, like we could rotate this guy in and get some rest. But I think that I believe Muji. I believe that they're always looking, and if there's an opportunity to make the team better, they will.
Okay, I like it. Hot take, I think a hot take from Billy here. With 4 weeks to go in the season, the Jets will be competing for the division.
Very hard. I think that we're a little bit high on them right now. That's a little bit. I hope he's right. Obviously, I want it to be true. I want that to be right. I'm kind of like, and sometimes it happens. Sometimes we saw Miami do it once. They were 1-15 and they won the division the next year when Parcells first went into the organization. Look, nothing would make me happier, but more realistically, I'm looking to just be on that graphic that says in the hunt or the wild card that's up there. Like if you bring me to December 10th on my birthday present would be if you put up a graphic, the Jets are, if the season ended today, wild card. Or they control their own destiny. Maybe they're in the hunt, but they control their destiny because maybe one of the teams ahead of them they play. So, if we win all our games and we beat that team, we're in the playoffs. But I would be happy with that. Just give me a December where in mid-December we realistically could say we might make the playoffs. We're not eliminated. We're not thinking there's no way it's going to happen.
Let me just continue this because this is actually a conversation string. And in response to Billy's comment there, AZ said, Billy, $100 super chat bet. And then Billy said, we could make it $1 million if you want, but you're going to be wrong. This team will be in the playoffs this year. Frank Reich did not come here to lose games. Thoughts?
My thought is I will never be upset with, and I will never insult or put down an optimistic Jets fan. I will never do it. I will say, if anything, I will say, give me I'll have what he's having. I hope it's true. I've seen it happen. I've seen it. I know it can happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen teams do complete flips. I've seen it. But it's not common. It's an outlier thing. Statistically speaking, it's not likely. The more likely scenario is that we're in the hunt. That would be the growth. That would be the thing to celebrate. We're in the hunt. I think there's a chance we can make the playoffs. I've not given up on that. I don't think it's impossible. I'm not one of those people saying we can't make the playoffs. It's not possible. But I don't think it's likely that we're competing for the division. I don't. Not with New England and Buffalo, not with Drake Mayhem, New England now. No, but I do think there's a good solid chance we could be in the hunt. And then I think at that point, there's a chance we'll make the playoffs if that happens. Like if we can check off that box and say we're in the hunt, then I'm going to really believe it. I'm going to say, oh my God, this could really happen. And that's where I am. But I love it. And I want Billy to know I love his enthusiasm and I love his optimism. And I more than anything in the world, at the end of the year, want to be saying, man, Billy was right.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, the only thing I would say to Billy, and I would say the same to Johnny. Johnny's on this 9+ win minimum kick. And the only thing I would say to them is that awesome, like you just said, awesome. But also, like, if we do have a really good season with 7 wins or 8 wins, and like the vibe's great, and the losses aren't bad losses, the wins are kind of really good wins. I hope you guys still enjoy that. Like, don't be so hung up on, what you thought now when you watch it play out. Just, I think we're all going to judge it by the eye test. I think all these hot takes and predictions are going to go out the window. It's going to be the eye test. So it's not going to matter. But if we win 7, 8 games, you got to enjoy that. As a 3-win team a year ago, a coach on the hot seat, blah, blah, blah. If they win 4 more games or 5 more games than they did a year before, we're all going to be feeling good. So just don't forget that when it comes time, Yeah. All right, let's keep going. I got literally my pins got 3 or 4 left, and that's it. So, all right, Boss Girl. Next draft, we'll have both of our day 2 picks. First time in a while.
Don't speak. You're speaking way too soon. Knock on wood when you say that. We don't know that we'll have those picks. We think we will. We have them right now, but let's wait until it all unfolds. I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance that we will have multiple more picks because with 3 first-round picks, don't be shocked. I'm not saying trade out of the first round. Don't be shocked if we swap and trade back and gain another second-round pick or another third-round pick. You know Muji's going to look to do that. This is a really deep draft. Like right now, it's looking like it's going to be a really special draft. And what do you want when you have a deep, talented draft? You want more picks. So there's a chance he might take, if we have a pick at, let's say, 7, a pick at 13 or 14, and a pick at 21. You might see him take that number 14 pick and trade back to 20 or 18 or 19 and pick us up a second-round pick, and a fourth-round pick or something like that. You might see something like that happen. So it might even be better. But it might be different too. We don't know. Maybe we make a run and we start trading picks to get the instant help. Maybe we do what the Colts did to get Sauce Gardner. Maybe we're buyers.
Right.
Maybe we're seeing a chance for the playoffs and we're buyers.
Damn straight. And I know Boss Girl where she's coming from with this, the whole Reddick bullshit and the Adams. And, you're right. Like, it is nice that we have our own picks back now. But
It's
also
nice.
Chaos is right. Don't be content with just 2 picks on day 2. We might end up with 3. We might end up with 1. We might end up with 4. We don't know. But it is nice that we aren't paying past transgressions now. Same with like the Aaron Rodgers contract. We're getting that all paid up. We're going to be fresh and ready to tear through this future, man. What I'm hoping is that what we're doing now is setting us up to be like to 2030s. Dare I say 2030s is the best decade we've ever had of Jet football. Like we have the power to make it be. We just got to go and do it. We got to hit the quarterback. But if we do, we could have 15 years of fun, man. And that's the dream. But you got to make it so,
It's not going to be easy to dominate because Drake May is real, man. I mean, he's not a superstar yet. We don't know that he's gone to the level of a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Like, we don't know that. But we know that at the very least, they have a very good quarterback. Like a very good quarterback. And then Josh Allen's still got a bunch of years left. Like the Bills
well,
aren't for a while.
Do you have to dominate though to put together? I mean, I don't know what our best decade is. I really don't. But I'm just saying,
you just win one Super Bowl.
Okay.
You don't have to dominate at all. You win one Super Bowl. It's our best decade since '69. You know what I mean? Like it's like because it trumps everything. It trumps everything. You win a Super Bowl, it's your best decade ever. If in 2029 we win the Super Bowl, the 2020s is our best, in my opinion. Because if you tell me as a fan, what decade do you pick to be a Jet fan? I say the 2020s. I don't care how bad it was. If it ends in a Super Bowl, then that was the path to get our Super Bowl. Good, and I'll take it.
Good, Yeah, the decade with the highest high. See, I'm more of the mind of I want the decade with the highest low. I'm tired of these lows, man, and I just want but also I don't know if I would sign up for the Steelers kind of prior decade where it's like 9-8, 9-8, 10-7, 9-8, 10-7. Like,
no, dude,
it's a slippery slope.
I've done 4 AFC championship games. It was great and it was fun, but at the end of the day, it left me. Every one of them left me heartbroken and frustrated and depleted. I need a Super Bowl, because in 2004. We didn't make we lost because of a stupid two missed field goals in Pittsburgh, but we almost made the AFC championship game. I was devastated. We were competing. We just had Parcells. It was 2004. And then we went in 2009 and 10, we went to 2. And it still feels like same old Jets. It still felt like shit. We need to win a Super Bowl. That's the only way to get rid of the trauma, to get rid of the pain. We need to win. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's going to be much better to compete and lose than to not compete and lose. Like, I'd rather go 11-6, make the playoffs and lose and be brokenhearted than 3-14. I'm not saying that, but you give me a Super Bowl, and that's the best thing in my life right now. I'm sorry, you know what I mean?
I know, and I don't mean to blast anyone who's 70 watching this show, but like a modern day Super Bowl for me means 10 that were in the 60s. I'm sorry. It's modern. I just feel like the game has evolved so much. It's harder. It's again, maybe I'll get blasted for this take, but I think if you give me one now, it so kills anything of the 20th century.
Yeah.
Is that a bad take? Was it harder to win in 1969 than it would be?
No. I think that it's look. It was a thank God
I
we
mean,
won it, Tate, because can you imagine
special.
if we
It
had
was
zero Super Bowls? I mean, but it's a thank God we won it, and thank God it happened, and it was really important for football. That game was,
it was.
'cause it validated the merge. But like, all that aside, it's just like, I mean, we weren't around for it, so we're never going to rate it higher than a decade where we win. If we win the Super Bowl, for all of us that weren't alive, we're not going to care. We're going to say this was the best season ever. It was the best moment of our Jets' lives as Jet fans. Don't get me wrong. I know what you want, Dano, and I want it too. I would much prefer, rather than get one Super Bowl and be the up and down Jets, I'd much prefer that we do a run like Kansas City or a run like New England or Indianapolis or Dallas in the 90s. Like, I would love a real run.
Yes.
I'm saying it's going to be hard to have a real run. I'm not saying impossible. It's just hard to see when you see New England with this young quarterback, Drake May,
Oh yeah.
and Buffalo got Josh Allen. It's hard to imagine that we're going to suddenly fall into this run where we win the division 8 years in a row, and we're just dominant. Yeah. It's like especially hard to imagine when you don't have your quarterback yet. We're still sitting here wishing we had a franchise quarterback. But I get that. I'm with you. I want that kind of run. But I'm just saying also what else, both things are true. What else is true is that if the Jets win a Super Bowl, whatever year they win it, that decade is the decade I pick over any other decade as a Jets fan, no matter what happened the rest of the decade. I don't care. That's me.
Yeah. I know I'm with you, man. And we could all get hit by a car tomorrow. You got to hoist while you can. That is the main thing. Dude, 38 in here still. Can you tell that pads are coming on, Jeremy? I mean, I look forward to the way this all plays out. Also, these 3 first-round picks. I mean, we just spoke at length about what that can mean. I think that's the key is we haven't used them yet, right? So we really don't know how high the top of our mountain is. But, as far as the today and now, there's a lot to like, but also a lot of question marks. Lou B, we talked about that with Lou B, with the secondary and the defense, man. On offense, there's a million question marks. Chaos, let's get out of here on a good note. Again, 38 still here. Hit the like button. Anything you would add maybe, or would you just let it lie where we left it?
I was just going to add that, yes, there's a lot of question marks like on the offense, but unlike the defense, they're happy question marks. They're exciting question marks. A lot of times there's different kind of question marks. There's the concern question mark. This is more the exciting question mark. Like, oh my God, do we have an amazing offense? Because if these guys hit, that's what it is. We're going to have an amazing offense. I mean, obviously we need to step up Geno eventually someday, but and get a real quarterback. But oh my God, if these weapons all hit, we're gonna have more weapons than we've ever had. Whereas the defense are the bad question marks. It's the more negative, it's the question marks of, are these guys gonna make us competitive? Or are they gonna not? It's the more not as exciting. It's the more we're desperate. We need everything to hit. We need Bailey to hit big.
And
we need everything to hit.
And stay healthy, like DeMario and Minka, and it does feel a bit more like Band-Aid and glue and gum, kind of. There's talent there, but also it's not deep, and there's a lot of like high upside but very low floors. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. Got to see it play out. Where better on a Sunday night to do it right than right here. Also, for your Sunday fixins, the best thing to do to figure out what to eat on a game day is to check out Brooklyn Brothers Food Review on YouTube for all your culinary needs.
All
All
even
of
hot sauce. Even hot sauce.
even hot sauce. All right, Jeremy. Have a good night, man. Have a good week. And yeah, chat, same to you. Catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
You know, I'm convinced we're the most cursed team in professional sports.
You guys are bad.
Love you, Charles.
But with Modine, I'll be here every week, baby, when I'm able to. So if you love this pretty face, you're gonna get used to this shit all the time.
You listen to me, and you listen to me good. Jets fans, I stand with my boy Greenby. The New York Jets are making the playoffs in the 26/27 season. We are going to amaze people. We're going to blow you away. Playoff team, the playoff New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! So get ready to rumble!